Yesterday, the courtroom was once again plunged into turmoil. Day 13 of Sean Diddy Combs' trial marked the return to the witness stand of Mia, the defendant's former personal assistant. From the moment she entered the courtroom, Mia displayed a closed-off attitude. She walked briskly, carefully avoiding Diddy's gaze. Seated on the stand, she kept her eyes downcast, her hands tightly clutching her belongings, embodying the palpable tension in the room. Before the jury entered, an important reminder was given. The judge wants the testimonies to be concluded before July 4th. However, Mark Ignolfo, the lead defense attorney, has been multiplying objections and requests for delays, deliberately slowing the pace of the trial. When the jury takes their seats, Mia is ready to proceed. Her posture leaves no room for doubt. She is tense, focused, determined. Under direct examination, she recalls the abuse she accuses Diddy of: incessant pressure, threatening calls, verbal attacks. She recounts a specific incident during a trip to St. Barthélemy, where after a violent argument she fled, running to hide with no way to leave the island because Diddy had confiscated her passport. Another memory resurfaces. During the Kids' Choice Awards, while she was in the process of being fired, she struggled to fulfill her professional duties under her employer's shouting and threats. Mia also describes Diddy's repeated phone calls while she was accompanying Cassie in South Africa. Battling jet lag, she woke up to 48 missed calls. In subsequent messages, Diddy had threatened her. "If you don't call me back right now, forget everything. I'm going to tell everything and never speak to you again." These constant pressures left deep scars. Mia confides that she now suffers from severe complex post-traumatic stress disorder, CPTSD, so debilitating that she is unable to work. She describes panic attacks triggered by mundane situations, such as simply hearing someone say her name in a room. Before leaving Revolt Films in 2017, Mia explains that she had to negotiate her departure for 9 exhausting months to secure a severance package of about $200,000 after legal fees. After cutting ties with Diddy, he attempted to re-establish contact by sending her messages following Cassie's lawsuit filing, claiming he wanted to hear her voice. Terrified, Mia never responded. The cross-examination promises to be brutal. From the outset of the cross-examination, Brian Steele, Diddy's lead attorney, sets a clear strategy: discredit Mia in the eyes of the jury. He begins by asking her if Diddy's behavior was the most traumatic experience of her life. Mia answers without hesitation, yes. She also confirms that she had, at times, contemplated suicide. Steele then presents the jury with a series of posts from Mia's Instagram account from the time she still worked for Diddy. Photos, videos, public messages where she called him a mentor and a source of inspiration, celebrated birthdays, and wrote warm messages. One particular post, 5 years after the alleged assault, where Mia thanked Diddy for his friendship and inspiration, is especially highlighted. At every post, Steele presses, how can she explain these public displays of affection towards the man she now accuses? Mia firmly states that her Instagram account only reflected appearances. "I didn't want my family and friends to know what I was really going through." She explains that within Diddy's world, employees were tacitly required to promote his image. It was an unspoken rule. Everyone had to post positive content, she explains. She adds that at that time, social media was primarily used to display good moments, never private suffering. Steele continues, probing the nature of Mia and Diddy's relationship, trying to sow doubt. How could you call your abuser your best friend? Mia simply answers, ask my therapist. The courtroom hangs on her words. At one point, Steele raises his voice. He abruptly asks, "Isn't it true that Mr. Combs never had any non-consensual contact with you?" Mia, unflinching, retorts, Everything I said here is true. Ask any victim's advocate, they'll explain it better than I can. Steele pushes further, mentioning a scrapbook Mia made for Diddy's 45th birthday. In the book, she wrote, "I hope this reminds you of what once made your eyes shine. Happy birthday. I will always love you." Mia explains that the gift was part of a complex psychological dynamic. "I was young, manipulated, and desperate to survive. It's only with hindsight and therapy that I understand the hold he had over me." Steele tries to use her words against her. "Why did you need someone to tell you it was wrong to be threatened?" Mia calmly replies, "Because my logical brain is different from my trauma brain. When you're under control, you survive. That's all you can do." The cross-examination continues insistently. Steele brings up a birthday video Mia organized, where she gathered Diddy's friends to send him messages. Mia acknowledges her participation, but reminds the court that it all happened under constant pressure and surveillance. As the hearing draws to a close, Mia recounts that after her dismissal, she felt an immense void. She admits to sending desperate messages to Diddy's team, saying she was devastated and unable to breathe. For Mia, leaving Diddy's circle was like being uprooted after 8 years of total control. Throughout the cross-examination, another element catches attention in the courtroom: the jury's behavior. According to several observers, some jurors displayed behavior deemed inappropriate and disrespectful towards Mia. In particular, 7 jurors were seen smiling, giggling, exchanging knowing glances, and even quietly laughing while Mia recounted her trauma. Certain moments stand out. When Mia spoke about the threats she endured, a juror in the front row reportedly raised their eyebrows and smirked. Another juror, already noted for her nonchalant attitude, was seen miming gestures to a neighbor. Others shook their heads or exaggeratedly rolled their eyes. Witnesses also claimed that during breaks or sidebars, some jurors whispered and laughed, while Mia sat with her head bowed, visibly upset. The defense made no effort to temper this behavior. On the contrary, Diddy and his entourage appeared satisfied. Some close to the defendant, including his son Quincy and others, exchanged discreet congratulatory gestures. Despite these repeated incidents, the judge chose not to intervene. No reprimands were issued to the jurors for their inappropriate behavior. This tense climate raises fundamental questions about the fairness of the proceedings. Several legal commentators are wondering, can a jury displaying such signs of bias deliver a fair and enlightened verdict? Mia, for her part, remains composed. She continues her testimony despite the palpable hostility. After the break, the defense attempts a new dramatic move. Diddy's lawyers try to introduce a video allegedly showing Mia at a party, smiling and dancing. Their goal? To undermine her image as a psychologically scarred victim. However, the procedure was far from proper. According to them, the video was sourced from internet users who claimed to have identified Mia. It came neither from her social media nor from any verifiable official source. The judge thus refused to admit the video into evidence, stressing its dubious provenance and the need to protect the complainant's integrity. Throughout this phase, tensions remain high. The defense insists on casting doubt on Mia's credibility, but the judge stands firm. No unauthenticated material will be exploited. Later reports circulate of heated discussions outside the courtroom. One of Diddy's defense attorneys, Mark Ignolfo, appeared particularly agitated, raising multiple objections and adjournment attempts. He argued that essential elements of the defense couldn't be properly presented, but his claims were dismissed. Finally, the day ends on an even heavier note. As Mia leaves the courtroom, she is closely escorted by security. The stares, whispers, and tensions between the two sides suggest that this trial has become much more than a simple legal confrontation. It is now a psychological battlefield. The jury, released at the end of the day, leaves under the weight of a day marked by harrowing testimonies, intimidation tactics, and a barely concealed atmosphere of hostility. The continuation of the trial is critical, with a jury whose objectivity is increasingly questioned and a defense ready to use every maneuver possible. The outcome is more uncertain than ever,